Hey, welcome to the second course video for the song Good Day from 21 Pilots 2021 album Scaled and Icy. I'm musically malnourished and you're on my journey to go deep and wide in discovering new music and artists. This is where we do a deep dive into the lyrics and meaning behind the music. So let's get in, see what's going on with Good Day. All right, consider my interest peaked. Good Day starts off scaled and icy on a different note than other first tracks seen on 21 Pilots albums, whereas Jumpsuit, Heavy Dirty Soul, and Ode to Sleep immediately start off strong. Good Day begins with a simple piano riff, reminiscent of Elton John's style, and builds in sound as the song progresses. Frontman Tyler Joseph shared in an interview that he did so with live shows in mind, imagining the song kicking off section by section, like lights in a warehouse. The song is based on a thought experiment Tyler had where he wondered how he'd react if he suddenly lost everyone he held dear to him. His reaction here is one of shock and denial, the first stage of grief, as he sings out that it's a good day despite what has occurred. Tyler said, "I designed it to feel like something was coming to life. If you really listen to the song, it's so upbeat and shiny on the surface, and then lyrically, I'm talking about trying to cope with the idea if I were to ever lose my family and friends. I would probably go through a period in the mourning process where my reaction to anyone asking me how I'm doing would be like, I'm fine, everything's great, I don't even know why you're asking me. Making them feel stupid, like, why would you even ask me that? That's what this song is." Tyler said this song is about getting to a place where if I were to lose everything, if I lost my wife and my kid, how would I in the first week react to that? And I think that what I would be is overly positive, like it's fine. There's a reason for everything. I'm okay. I even put a specific time on it. Like, I feel like a lot of stuff, anytime you go on vacation, something weird might happen. Like someone comes down with some weird sickness. I've had a couple of weird things happen to my family while on vacation, and I don't know if that's just me or if other people have experienced that. Maybe you're in a new place, you don't have your rhythm normal, and something happens. But the idea of, I was just trying to put myself there, like how would I react to some terrible thing happening over, a vacation that we were all on and it was a really dark place to go. I would imagine that one of those stages of grief would feel a bit like this song. I wanted to try to put a timestamp on what that period of grief might feel like. In a 2021 interview with Zane Lowe, Tyler Joseph shared, "It was so different than every other first song that I've ever done. I've kind of developed this formula for how live shows should feel. And I think that because the live experience is so tied to the creation process of the record, I've always naturally written a first song that felt like it would also be the first song for a live experience. And it's got the low rumble. It's got the ominous, we're about to take over your life type of thing. And this was a completely different style, a completely different first. This is like I wanted to feel like I was turning lights on. I walked into a warehouse and it was everything. It was kicking on section by section, and that's what this song felt like. And then all of a sudden to go into this piano riff, it was just reminiscent of how maybe some older concerts would have started rather than what we do today with the big scrim that falls down. And the low rumble and the big boom, like it's a little more walk out on stage, turn the lights on and smile was kind of the vibe of the first song. That's fun. And we will do the Scaled and Icy live stream on Patreon once we've, finished the album. I want to go back and do that. I can feel my saturation leaving me slowly. On the surface, frontman Tyler Joseph sings about the loss of his happiness and hope due to the circumstances outlined in the second verse. However, saturation also plays a large part in Scaled and Icy's connection to the lore of Dima that was so prevalent in 21's album's Trench. The idea of saturation refers to Tyler's creativity. The more colorful his work, the more easily he was inspired to create music. This idea traces back to the band's 2009 self-titled album where the cover art showcases a range of colors spilling on the floor. This is due to Tyler spilling out both his creativity and his ideas to his listeners, leaving him exhausted and needing to recover his ability to create. In an interview over Scaled and Icy, he explains, "Usually when we're done working on a record, I feel completely burnt out. I've put everything into it that I have, and I'm done with writing, done with music for however long. And on this one, for some reason, I didn't feel that same burnout feeling. And I've actually continued to create even after. I'm still writing and excited about music. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Hopefully it's just a good thing." Promotional images for the album and the accompanying live stream experience put heavy emphasis on the idea of saturation, with posters reading "The Vibrant Return of 21 Pilots" and "Feel the Saturation," along with segments of the live stream describing the album as highly saturated. Scaled and Icy is thought to be propaganda from the fictional city of Dima. As Scaled and Icy is propaganda, can be seen hidden in the cover art for their 2020 song, "Christmas Saves the Year." As shown in the Nico and the Niners music video, Dima appears very dull and colorless. The vibrant and saturated form of the city described throughout Scaled and Icy appears much more friendly, safe and welcoming to those who were considering escaping, hinting at its deception. Ooh. That's pretty epic. So like a way to... what was it, way back when The Walking Dead was good, I think. There was that one city that they were trying to make it to. I can't remember the name of it. But everything was like, all the word out was like, you got to get to this place. And there were even, not that there were bright signs, but it was portrayed as this welcoming atmosphere. But it was all a trap, spoiler alert, for cannibals. But it's kind of like, yeah, you're safe here. Everybody come here. It'll be good here. But it's all designed that way as a trap. It's kind of like Vegas. So I can feel my saturation leaving me slowly. Broke the news on mom's vacation. Oh, but you know me. Obviously, the news is tied to what he shares lower down. Okay, this is part of what we already read. So him putting himself in that mind space, which is just funny because in my initial react of the song, I was like, maybe it's just Tyler sharing about a real, actual good day that he was having. But I also knew at the same time, I was like, there's something more here, you know? Not that I couldn't see Tyler doing that, because I think it's important for people to know, you know, that struggle with depression and things like that. That like there are good days. Like Tyler has plenty of good days, but obviously as we've read, there's more under the surface. It is more this place of denial. Low key, I'm all right. Would you say you depend on the weather? My sunshine is a buzz and a light. I'll be singing out. Now I'm curious if this is speaking... Oh, wait. Okay. So here, the first place my mind went, which Tyler's never talked about alcohol in his music, is like, and again, since he's kind of playing in this fictional world with this song, is if it was like my sunshine, so the thing that makes me happy is a buzz and a light, meaning like a Bud Light, obviously a very famous beer. And so if that's what he's saying, like the thing that makes me happy is getting a buzz from a Bud Light. But I don't know if he's also saying my sunshine is a buzz and a light, meaning just this kind of like fluorescent buzz light. If you ever heard them, they kind of just buzz, and it gives this picture of this very sterile environment. So let's see what this says. In the fictional universe of Trench, the 9 bishops of Dima teach a religion known as Violism, which worshippers surround neon light structures. The phrase buzz and a light is likely a reference to the buzzing or humming sounds most neon lights are known for emitting when turned on. Since there's no actual sun in Dima, Tyler's sunshine and happiness comes from what they worship in the city of Dima. So it does kind of point back to this idea of the propaganda of this place that they're in from Dima, that there is something kind of still sinister and deceptive about the place. On neon gravestones in Bandito, we learn that neon light is actually a lifeless light at a heatless fire. When attempting to remain optimistic after losing his wife and child, what Tyler perceives to be sunshine is actually nothing more than a hollow neon light. Buzz and light is also a reference to drinking and smoking. Okay, when speaking on how he would cope with the loss of his wife and child, Tyler told Zane, I really feel like the vice of drinking and smoking, I would just be like, no lid, let's go, all in. I would just search for anything I could to compensate for that sorrow. Similarly, on Mulberry Street, ain't no sunny skies till you finally realize that everybody relies on synthetic highs. Sweet. So I got that a little bit. Which Tyler so often, I don't know why I keep saying Josh so much. Tyler often has those double entendre meanings, right? I know it's hard to believe me. It's a good day. Lost my job, my wife and child. Homie just sued me. Shoot my life in shoot 'em up style, her favorite movies. Shoot 'em up is a genre of movie typified by a fast plot, lots of gunfire. The her in this lyric likely refers to Jenna, Tyler Joseph's wife. Joseph has included at least one track about Jenna on each album since they've been engaged. Joseph has explained this song is about addressing his darkest fears, right? Expressing that if something happened to his family, his homie, Josh Dunn, his life would be ruined. Not only that, but he alludes to continuing on a path of self-destruction. There's a strong dichotomy between the morose yet flippant nature of a shoot-'em-up style, life, and the heartfelt recognition of Jenna's favorite type of movie. This difference indicates Joseph would be switching between grief and self-destructive anger. So how many kids did he have? One at the time of them recording? Tyler Joseph and his wife Jenna have 3 children. Daughter Rosie Robert, born February 9th, 2020. Daughter Junie Bell, born in 2022. And Tommy, their son, born in 2024. Cool. Look at these cuties. Man's winning. Okay, so he did have a daughter at the time of releasing this album. Good to know. Today's a good day. Never know when the next one will show. So I'ma sing my soul. The illustration of one's soul singing is a common motif of the biblical book of Psalms, a collection of poetry expressing both joy and mourning. Just as Tyler, a Christian, calls a day that he loses his wife and child a good day in this song, the psalmist frequently used sing my soul as a command of forced joy amidst sorrow. For instance, King David in Psalm 103 uses the phrase to depict a changed perspective given by God in bad times. O my soul, come praise the Eternal. Sing a song from a grateful heart. Sing and never forget all the good he has done. Despite all your many offenses, he forgives and releases you. When your soul is famished and withering, he fills you with good and beautiful things. Then there's another psalm. Following the psalmic tradition, many Christian writings have used the phrase since, from the classic hymn, How Great Thou Art, to contemporary renditions like Behold, Then Sings My Soul by Hillsong. Though this day is only nominally a good one, Tyler believes, like the psalmist, that truly good ones will show just as they have disappeared. So his soul sings to God with that future hope in the meantime. Yeah, I mean, yes, that's very much the Psalms, is a mixture of some songs that are actually called songs of ascent that were sung when they would go up to the temple to worship, really focus on the goodness and majesty of God. Then there are psalms that are on recognizing the evils that are around or the trials that a person's going through, but in the midst of all those sorrows, still recognizing, God, you're good. God, you're powerful. You are faithful. People around me are not, but you are. a command of forced joy amidst sorrow. I don't know that I would necessarily call it that. I think it's more of a perspective thing. Because even if I'm having like a not good day, maybe I don't feel well or things aren't going the way I planned, there's something powerful in still stepping back. Not that it makes all those things go away, but it gives you a different perspective when I can step back and remember like the things in my life that are good, the things in my life that, and even remembering those that may not even have the opportunity that I have, whatever it might be. So I don't think it's necessarily as much of a forced joy as it is causing yourself to have perspective. And I think perspective is a healthy thing when you're going through challenges, and that can give you the strength to press on. All right. Very interesting. I am obviously excited just to see where this album goes musically, but also to see where the tie-ins are within Trench and Dima. So I think all of that will be really interesting. Let me know your thoughts on the song. If there's anything you saw that I didn't see, drop it in the comments. Thanks for being with me for this one. I'll see you in the next one, because we're eating good.